Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a little bit of a different video today, as I'll be kind of showing off some what could have been company sleeves from Swan and Tollie labels from the 60s. As you know, as Beatles fans, She Loves You was released on the Swan label, and Love Me Do and Twist and Shout was also released on Tollie, but both of those companies did not have any original company sleeves to come with them in the 60s. So one of my friends mentioned this to me, John, and so I was like, I guess we can try to design some, and he said, go for it. So I kind of designed my own, and I kind of started off with just some plain paper 45 sleeves, and I kind of made it work in my printer so I could use my designs and print them on to the actual sleeve itself. So instead of like printing it on a piece of paper, cutting it, and like taping it to a sleeve, it was just printing directly onto the paper sleeve like that. So I was going to go through some of my designs of Swan and Tollie records here, and I have more designs I don't have printed out right now, so I'll kind of probably pop those up on the screen at some point in time once I'm done with all the ones that are printed out. And I have a couple extra bonus ones at the end as well. So here's kind of what a sleeve would normally look like. I say in a collection, just a plain white sleeve with the Swan, the black and silver Swan label. So instead of having that in a plain white sleeve, I kind of based the design off the record label itself, and then like you can put it in a Swan company sleeve. So again, obviously I kind of more or less copied the label with the design, but I thought it worked out pretty well. I just made it single-sided for right now because typically you're only going to see one side at a time with the label in the collection. And so that was the black and silver full color sleeve to match the black and silver record label. And then we're going to go towards the Silidic, and I'll get you company label, or I mean a record label. So this one obviously is red and white. So I try to match the best I could. I know there's a couple darker. This one's a little bit lighter on the red, but it is red. There's a little bit of a darker red. So I kind of made a nice red sleeve to go with it as well. Now some of these sleeves are kind of just blemishes or small kind of defects that weren't quite up to standard to kind of give away to some friends. And I actually sold some sleeves on eBay. I kind of just labeled it as a fantasy sleeve. I know I see some records online that are like Beatles fantasy picture sleeves that kind of go with the jukebox color vinyl series. So I thought if I just kind of advertise it as a fantasy sleeve, that people might be interested in buying it. So they're up on eBay right now if you want to take a look at it and see if you can give me any helpful critiques on how to maybe make that the listings a little better, or any critiques on the actual product itself. I would always be open to suggestions. And then one other label color that I don't have in my collection is actually a blue and white label. So I obviously made a full color blue sleeve as well. So those are all the full colored sleeves. And then to not use a whole lot of ink for me, I also made pretty much a black striped swan sleeve. This one has the X's for like the promotional label. I also have one that without the X's, just for the black design label there. And then I also made a blue one. That one looks pretty nice. And then here's the normal black, white and black one. Let's see how that one looks with the black label here. Let's see. So that's what it would kind of look like with the record label inside, or with the actual record inside, I guess I should say. So those were kind of the obvious designs. I think I just kind of made these designs on PowerPoint and kind of just worked it out with my printer from there. And these are just kind of some designs I kind of created without the label as a guide. Obviously, I took some elements of it, but I just kind of went with the more vertical stripes, and I just added a silhouette of a swan on there. I thought it looked pretty nice. So there is a black one, and there is the blue one, and then there is the red one. And obviously, I could probably make these a full color, and then have the checkerboard and the swan and the swan title be white if I wanted to. And then I think that's all the ones from Swan that I have printed out. So if I have any more extra ones, I'll probably pop it up on the screen here. And now I guess we'll go on to the Tollie label here. So let me find a Love Me Do here, and we'll get going. Okay, so Beatles on the Tollie label. Now one did come with a picture sleeve. That would be the Love Me Do one, but the Twist and Shout did not come with anything. Again, it would just be a generic sleeve, white sleeve, like this would look like in a collection or so. So again, for most of these, I took the label as the main design component and added it to my sleeve design. So this one, again, these are kind of blemished ones, so the ink didn't really go all the way down. But this one's just kind of the straight thin line Tollie label. And then, oh, here's one that's a little bit better. Yeah. So that's what it would kind of look like. And then this one is one of my favorite ones because Tollie did have a bracket on a kind of a teal label. I think I have one of those here. Yeah, so let's see how that looks like. I'll probably add some of these blemished sleeves into my collection, and then I'll kind of keep the better ones for other people to either buy or I can just kind of give away. So that's what it would look like with a sleeve together. I just kind of think it makes it look a little bit more complete and a nice overall in the collection. So there is the bracket label. And then you also kind of have this block text kind of plain there as well. So I know I have one of those as a design. I just don't have one printed out right now, so I'll probably pop that up on the screen. And then lastly, again, I kind of went based off of the record label itself. So the last one I kind of did a design based off of that is the purple box label. So this was one of the first designs I picked. So I think I have like a Love Me Do on the purple box. And they also had black labels for Tollie and all that stuff. So again, I have a bunch of different variations of all these designs on my computer, so I'll probably pop them up as so. And then the one kind of design that I kind of made up, I took the box element and just kind of made it into a little design on the sides there as well. So I hope you enjoyed kind of like seeing the designs of those. And then I was thinking, I was like, well, I could probably make up some designs for some local record stores or record stores I know. Now I won't sell those because it's their logo and all that stuff. Um, but I thought it would just be kind of fun to just kind of make some designs for local record stores, and maybe I'll show it to them one day. So this is one of the more prominent record stores in my area. It's about an hour away, and they kind of have a main logo, and their kind of secondary color is kind of an orangey dark red kind of thing. So this is a Seasick Records. I know it's a little bit off center, but this part right here is usually in the middle. I'll probably pop up a picture of their original logo, and then they kind of have like some swirly designs in their record store, so I try to match that background into the sleeve a little bit. So here's just kind of a random John Lennon record here. So that's kind of what it would look like with a record inside. So I yet to show these to these record stores, so maybe they would like it or something like that. And then the other record store in my area, Renaissance Records. Again, I haven't been able to show these to them. Just kind of they have a little overhead awning on the front door, so I try to do something with that. I didn't really like it too much with this design, but they had originally had a red and white kind of a striped awning. Now it's just an all black one. So I kind of took the red and white stripe and made that into this sleeve with Renaissance Records. I think this one definitely works a little bit better. It's a little bit more simple, but it kind of goes with I think the theme a little bit with the Renaissance. Kind of like the old timey flags on like jousting or on top of castles or something like that. So yeah, I think I like this one a little bit better of a design. And then one of my favorite record stores, it would be Rockaway Records in California. So I obviously had to make one of them, and this is what I came up with for Rockaway Records. It's kind of a old school type company sleeve that I kind of took a look at a lot of different company sleeves, original ones. Like I think this one came from the Atco sleeve or MGM, that they kind of used the actual word or logos of the brand and made it into the design. So I thought this one looked pretty sharp as well. So let's see what this one looks like with the record inside. So maybe with every 45 I get from Rockaway, I can make sure that like I got this one from Rockaway or something like that. So that'll about wrap this video up here. I hope you enjoy these kind of designs. I do kind of enjoy making some designs and being a little on the creative side every once in a while. So thanks to my friend John for bringing up the idea. I'll definitely send him some sleeves so he can put into his own collection. And I'll let you know. I'll give you some updates if any of these record stores would be interested in my sleeves. I guess if they want me to make some for them, I guess I can do that as well. So hope you enjoy those. Let me know. Give me some critiques. I do have an art minor, so we had to do a critique day. So constructive criticism is always welcome, and I can always look to make things better. So thank you in future for that. And next video will be on its way shortly.